Welcome everyone to the Virtual Excel Academy.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. We're here with you too. My name is Amaya and our host.
And I'm Cheryl Kamei-Hannon, and I will be with you today too. Joining us, we have Charlotte Cushman from Paths to Literacy, Perkins and Texas School for the Blind, Leanne Grillat from the Director of National Outreach Services from APH. And our special guest today, we have Cody Laplante, who is a TVI from Texas School for the Blind, who will be talking about screen readers. Welcome, Cody. We also want to know who you are, where you're from, and do you use a screen reader? If so, what screen reader do you use? Take it away, Cody.
Okay. Hi, everybody. How's it going? So I'm not from Texas School for the Blind. I work in Baltimore, Maryland. But, you know, same thing, TVI. So that's okay. That's all right. But it's great to see everybody. We're all set to go, right?
You're ready.
All right.
It's all yours.
Awesome. So yeah, so we want to know, first of all, what screen reader you are using. And this is something that is, a lot of people think, oh, I can only use JAWS, or I can only use NVDA, or I can only use Chromebox. But in reality, all these screen readers are pretty much the exact same. And we're going to be doing the same things with Chromebox, NVDA, or JAWS. So we want to know what screen reader you're using. Number one, just to know and see what we can do for everybody. And number two, so that we can make sure that as we do stuff, I'm giving you the right key commands, okay? So as you throw that in the chat box, we'll get that information, okay? Cool.
I'm seeing VoiceOver and JAWS.
Cool.
No screen readers. So we have some people with none. NVDA for someone.
Okay. And if you're using Chromevox, which means you're on a Chromebook and you're using a screen reader, if you're using JAWS or if you're using NVDA, we're going to be working with you guys. If you're using VoiceOver and you're on a Mac, that screen reader just works a little bit differently, okay? So if you're on a Mac, you know, just follow along, just listen. But it works just a little bit differently, okay? So mainly JAWS, NVDA, and Chromebook.
There's a few screen readers for iOS systems in there. So as you were talking, it started popping in.
Gotcha. So if you're on an iOS device, also a little bit different. We're going to be working on JAWS, NVDA, and Chromevox only on a computer. And that leads me to my next question that you guys can start putting in the chat box. My question is, why is using a computer important? Like, why can't we just use a Braille note or a phone? Why do we want to make sure that we can use a computer? What do you guys think? Why is that important? And as you guys put in the chat box, I'm going to get my water.
Versatility.
Ooh, that's a great word. I love that word.
Easily accessible.
Okay, absolutely.
Technology is advancing and we need to adapt for school and workplace.
Yeah,
more resources to use.
Yeah, I love all these answers. These are great.
Processing power.
Processing power is a good one, right? We don't want to be on our phones trying to do something crazy, right? Yeah, and really, like, think about if you have a parent that goes to work, or maybe an aunt or an uncle or a grandpa that goes to work. What do they go to work and use? They don't go to work and use their phone or their tablet. They go and sit in front of a computer, right? So we want to make sure that when we graduate from high school and we're going out into the workplace, that you're able to use those computers, right? And I love that word versatility. Whoever said that, great word. Versatility means, like, guess what? When you're using like a Braille note, that takes a long time to get updated, right? Humanware has to, you know, go through the updates. They have to wait for Android to update. Computers, guess what? You get all of the newest stuff right away. So that's why this is really important and why we're doing this, okay? So we're working on computers today. So great answers. Now I'm going to start by sharing my screen. So let me do that. Yep, you got it. All right. And so now everybody can see my screen, yeah? Awesome.
We can see your desktop.
Awesome. So we are going to do, we're using a screen reader on the internet today, because guess what? A lot of our stuff is on the internet, right? The internet is like the backbone of what we use on the computer. Most of the time when we're using the computer, it's on the internet. And today we're going to be talking about 3 different methods that you can use on your computer with a screen reader to navigate the internet. 3 different methods. That means 3 different ways that we can navigate the internet, okay? Now, if you want to follow along with your screen reader, I'm going to be giving key commands, okay? And if you just want to listen, right? If you're not using a screen reader or you're like, oh, I just want to kind of listen and watch, that is totally okay too, okay? You can be right there with us and answer questions, okay? But every time that we go through a certain method, right? We're going to go through method 1, method 2, method 3. Every time we introduce a new method, I'm going to ask you 3 questions, okay? You guys ready for these questions? The questions are, number 1, what type of element are we using, okay? And I'm going to give you some examples of elements, right? Elements on the internet are headings, buttons, links, edit fields, graphics, okay? So these are all different types of elements. Does anybody know, just given those examples, does anybody else know a different element that I didn't say on the internet? I named a lot of them, so if you don't, that's okay. But just if you have a different element that you have on that you know about on the internet, throw it in the chat box.
I see tables, forms,
yeah,
lists.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wow, you guys are awesome. Yeah, radio buttons, if you've ever heard of a radio button, check boxes, these are all elements. So these are all types of things that you can get on the internet, okay? So that's question number 1. What type of element are we looking for, okay? Question number 2 is, what do we know about that element? Do we know what it's called? And do we know how close it is? What do we know about it, okay? And then those 2 questions are gonna let us know which method we're gonna use. So what's the element? What do we know about it? And what method are we gonna use? Those are our 3 questions, okay? Now, before we get on the internet, all right, I just wanna know what browser you guys are using. So we already talked about what screen reader you're using, JAWS, NVDA, Chromebox, VoiceOver. I want to know what browser you're using, okay? So you can see a couple on my desktop here. I have Internet Explorer, I have Google Chrome, I have Mozilla Firefox. If you're on a Mac, it's Safari, right? So tell us what browser you're using, and I'm going to be using Google Chrome today, okay?
I see Chrome, Google Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Google Chrome, Firefox, Safari.
Absolutely.
So there you go.
Sweet. So I'm going to be using Google Chrome today, but guess what? The nice thing about using a screen reader is you can open up all of these programs the exact same way. So if you don't have your screen reader on, I'm going to show you really quick how to turn it on if you're on a Windows PC, if you're opening JAWS or NVDA. You ready? All you're going to do is you're going to hit the Windows key, right? Which is on the left bottom side of your keyboard. It's 3 over. So the bottom left side, you have Control. Then you probably have Windows or Function, and then Windows is the 3rd key over. So I'm going to hit that Windows key, and then I'm going to type the name of my screen reader. So I'm using NVDA today. I'm going to type NVDA, and then hit enter, okay? And you guys should hear NVDA. You can also, if you were here on Friday, Nina told us a really great way to do it as well, where you go to the desktop. You can do this too. You hold down Windows, press D to go to the desktop, and then you can use the arrow keys to find your screen reader, okay? And press enter, all right? Sounds good? All right, so I have NVDA on, and I can make sure.
Meeting controls,
Beautiful, so just making sure that I have NVDA on. And now I'm gonna open my browser the exact same way. So I'm gonna hit that Windows key.
Start window.
And I'm gonna type in the name of my browser. I'm using Chrome, so I'm going to type in CHR.
Google Chrome.
There it is.
App 1 of 4.
Enter. Okay, and I'm going to let you guys all get to where I am, so I'm going to give you a few seconds to turn on your screen reader and to open your browser. All right, and if you are there, go ahead and put in the chat box, I'm there, okay?
Just starting to see there.
From Laura Noak to all.
Perfect. I'm going to do this.
Yep.
Speech mode off.
Awesome. All right. Sweet. So we're there. If you are not there, that is okay. You can either follow along, or you can stop following along, or you can do whatever you want. Totally okay. All right. So what we're going to do today to show you our 3 different methods is we're going to be looking up the weather in our location. So I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm going to be looking up the weather in Baltimore. Wherever you are, we're going to be looking up the weather near you. Okay? Sounds good? So before we even get into our 3 methods, all we're going to do is do a Google search. Does anybody know the command to get to the address bar of our browser? If you do, put it in the chat. What is the command to get to the address bar?
Keen says Alt-D. Lauren says Alt-D. Liam says F6 Control-L.
Yeah, these are all great options. They all work. Okay, so you can use Alt-D, you can use Control-L, or you can use F6. Okay, all of those get you to the address bar. All right, if one doesn't work, then try another one. Okay, it just might be your browser. So some browsers, Control-L works, some browsers it doesn't. Then you just go to another one. Alt-D or Control-L is usually what I say. So I'm gonna do that. Control-L, oops, I'm not on my, there we go. Control-L, oh, I need to turn my speech on.
Speech mode beeps. Speech.
Okay, so I'm in my address bar, okay? And I'm going to type in the same thing that you're gonna type in. I'm gonna type in weather, or what is
the weather, as the weather near, the
weather near me.
Her near, selection
Okay?
remove.
So I'll say that again. You're gonna type in, what is the weather near me? Now Google is really smart. It probably will know where you are. If it doesn't, you can type in, what is the weather in wherever you are. So I could also type in, what is the weather in Baltimore, Maryland? But I'm going to stick with what is the weather near me, and I'm going to hit enter. Okay.
Google.com. What? Speech mode off.
And the question that I have for you now is, what is the name of the page that we're on now? What is the name of the page that we're on now? What do we call this page? Put it in the chat box. This might be a tough one, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
The home page, a site, search results.
Boom, there it is. Whoever said search results, that's
Liam.
Name. Nice job, Liam. You know what, Liam, what I do with my students is I tell them either to give themselves a self 5, which works great when we're social distancing, right? It's just like a high five, but you give it to yourself. It goes like this. Done. It's just a clap, okay? So Liam, go ahead and give yourself a self 5. Yeah, it's the search results page. Now, what's on the search results page? It's all of the search results, right? So usually on the internet, what's going to happen is it's going to just be a list of websites that Google thinks, hey, these are going to have your answer, okay? And anytime you do a Google search, you're going to be put on the search results page, okay? So that's where we are right now. Now, Google is super, super smart. And it's actually gotten smarter in the past couple of years. And what it's done on this page is it's given us an app, just like an app on your phone, but it's on the search results page, and it tells you the weather where you are, or it should, okay? So for example, I'm gonna tell you what's on my screen, and then we're gonna figure out how to get to the different parts, okay? For example, mine says Baltimore, Maryland, because that's where I am right now, and it says 54 degrees, there's a graphic or an image of a sun, right? And then it also on the bottom, I can scroll down and see that it gives me the weather day by day, okay? So that's what's on our screen. That's what we're trying to get to. And this brings us to our first method of internet navigation, the first one, okay? And before we even get to the first one, I wanna tell you how the internet works. Think about the internet as like a list, all right? Like a grocery list, or if you have an agenda and you write down your homework or things to do, like a list, okay? And on the internet, it's just a list of all of these different types of elements. So for example, at the top, what we're gonna see is like the Google icon. Then the next thing on the list is gonna be shopping. Then the next thing on the list is gonna be images. Then the next thing on the list is gonna be maps. And it's just a list, okay? And what we want to do is try to skip as many of the unimportant things, the things that we don't care about. We're trying to skip as many of them as possible to get to the thing that we want to get to, right? For us on this page, we want to get to what the weather is. And I'm going to tell you what that's going to be called. It's actually the type of element is called a link, and a button, right? So that's the type of element. Remember, that's our first question. And it's going to say Wednesday, sunny, 57 degrees, or whatever the weather is for you. It's going to say Wednesday something, okay? And we want to figure out how to get to that point. Cool? Awesome. Are there any questions so far? I know that was a lot.
Which screen reader are you using right now?
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm using NVDA right now, but this exact same process is going to work with Chromevox or JAWS as well.
And then you have a fancy little button you have not shared about turning off your voiceover. What was that command?
Absolutely. So this is something that I can tell you for, I don't have it off the top of my head for Chromevox, but for NVDA, it's the NVDA key. Oh, I need to get to that. It's the NVDA key, which on my computer is caps lock, but if you're on a desktop, it's insert, okay? It's the NVDA key plus S, all right? Which is a great time to talk about this, actually. If you have, or if you're using NVDA or JAWS, I just wanna make sure you know what your NVDA or your JAWS key is. Does anybody know what the NVDA or JAWS key does? What is it? Put it in the chat box.
JAWS is insert from Susan.
Yeah, it actually changes. So if you have NVDA or JAWS, it could be caps lock and it could be insert. For you guys, I have a really quick test to see which one it is for you. If you have your screen reader on, and you're using JAWS or NVDA, I want you to find the caps lock key and just press it once. I'm gonna do it on my end. And you see it doesn't say anything, okay? If you press your caps lock key and it doesn't say anything, that means your JAWS or NVDA key is insert. If you press your caps lock key and you hear this, caps lock on, I don't know. Oh, because I have my speech off. If it says caps lock on or caps lock off, that means that your NVDA key is insert. I'm sorry. Yeah. If you press your caps lock key and it says something, it means your caps lock or your NVDA or JAWS key is insert. If it doesn't say anything, it's caps lock. Okay. Does that make sense? Does that answer the question? So the speech command is that NVDA key, whether it's insert or caps lock, and S for NVDA. Okay. Cool. So if I do that,
speech mode beeps.
It can
speech mode talk. Speech mode off.
Okay. So it can go from beeps to talk to off. Cool. Awesome. Any other questions, Leanne?
Nope, we're good. We're ready to try to learn how to get to Wednesday.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's do our first method. Now we're trying to get to that Wednesday element, right? It is called a clickable object. That's the type of element that we're trying to go to. Does anybody have any ideas as to how to get to that element? What would you guys think? Put it in the chat box. All right, no ideas. That's okay.
Now, someone said tab, maybe.
Yes, there it is. There's our
first
method.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay, that's a good one too. But tab is going to be our first method. Now tab, remember that, think about that list. Tab goes to all of the items on that list that we can click on, that we can press enter and something happens. It's called a clickable object. So if I'm on my, make sure I have
speech mode beeps, speech mode talk.
Yep, there we go. So if I am on my search results page and I want to get to Wednesday, I can press tab.
From Savannah.
I can press tab and it will go through all of the things that I can click on. So watch this, ready?
Clickable skip to main content, accessibility, Google Apps, Google account, search, clear, search.
Okay, so these are all of the things that we can click on. Now, if I press tab a lot, I'll end up getting to Wednesday, okay? I'll end up getting to Wednesday, but guess what? I think we can do better because look at this. I'm just gonna press tab until I get to Wednesday, but I'm not gonna do the talk mode. I'm gonna do beeps mode.
Speech mode off. Speech mode beeps.
Right? And I'm just gonna get to Wednesday. And I want you to count how many times I have to press tab until I get to Wednesday. You ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, right? Is that what you guys got? 14 times? We can do better than pressing tab 14 times, huh? So that's when we get to method number 2. So first of all, this is method number 1, tab, okay? I'm gonna ask you our 3 questions now. First of all, what was the element that we were trying to get to? Does anybody remember the type of element we were trying to get to? Put it in the chat box.
Speech mode talk. Speech mode off.
Someone said a link. Someone said Wednesday.
Absolutely. So a link is the type of element, and we're going to
Clickable
talk,
object.
and we're going to say that they're all clickable objects. Absolutely. So they're links, but more links specifically, but more generally clickable objects. Okay. So we're trying to get to a clickable object. What did we know about the element? What did we know about the element? Did we know, was it close? What was its name? What do you guys got? What did we know about it? How close was it? Was it at the top? Was it in the middle? Was it at the bottom? Where was it?
We know it was part of a search results page. We know it was 14 down.
Okay, cool. We know it was 14 down. I would say that it was like semi-close, right? And given that, what method did we use? We tried to use tab. All right. So that's method number one is tab. Does anybody know how to go backwards? If we're using the method one, tab, how do we go backwards? Let's say if I pass Wednesday, let me turn.
Speech mode talk.
There you go.
From Lon. Friday rain.
I'm on Friday. How do we go backwards?
From Susan Nostet to
You
all.
have two different ones, Alt tab and Shift tab.
It's Shift tab. Whoever said Shift tab, go ahead and give yourself a self 5, right? Shift tab.
From Dewey Wilson to
Alt tab. Here, I'm going to turn off.
speech mode off.
There we go. Alt tab switches our program focus. So that's something different. But yeah, Shift tab. So if you go past something and you're using that method one tab and you're trying to get to a clickable object, all you do is go Shift tab, you go one back. Okay. So I'm going to do Shift tab to get to Wednesday. But we can do better. All right. We can skip more of the things on that grocery list, right? As long as we know what specific type of element we're looking for. Okay. Now we said that these were called clickable objects. But actually what we want to do is if you're sighted and you're watching this, you can see that there's actually a big, huge title at the top of this app. It says Baltimore, Maryland. It says the zip code, it says the time, and it says the weather. And that's the title of the app. All right. Does anybody know in computer speak what type of element are titles? What are they called? What are the element types? They're not links. They're not buttons. They're what?
Headings, headings, headings.
Absolutely, headings. They're absolutely headings. Now this brings us to our method number two. If we know the type of the element, right? If we know that it's a heading or a link or a button or an edit box, we can use method two, which is called quick keys, all right? Now in quick keys, all we have to know is the type of element we're looking for. Cool? So now for this one, we know that we are looking for headings because we're trying to get to that title. I'm going to make sure that I'm at the top of my web page. If you want to practice our method one to get to the top, you can do Shift tab, or you can do a shortcut and just search for it again. What is the weather near me? I'm going to search for it again, press enter. And now I'm on my search results page again to start quick keys. Okay. And before you guys do that, just watch me, okay, before you try to do it. So I'm going to turn my speech mode on.
Speech mode beeps.
Oops.
Speech mode talk.
There you go. And I'm going to start using quick keys. Now, the really cool thing about quick keys is with NVDA and JAWS, all you need to do is press the first letter of the heading type that you were trying to get to, okay? So that means we're trying to get to headings. What are we going to press? H for headings, okay? And I'm going to show you how easy this is. I'm just going to press H.
Clickable search modes heading level 1. Main landmark search results head from
H
Charlotte
again,
Cush.
okay?
Clickable weather result heading level 2. Baltimore, Maryland 21224.
And there's our title. So I only pressed H 4 times, right? Instead of that 14 tabs. I only pressed H 4 times to hear that title. And now I can just use my arrow keys like regular, right? To read text.
Heading level 3 Wednesday 2. Heading level 3 sunny. Graphic sunny. Heading level 3 54. Heading level 3 button unavailable degree.
Okay, cool. So now I know with only 4 clicks and a couple of arrow keys how that in Baltimore, Maryland, where I am right now, it's sunny and it's 54 degrees.
Speech mode off.
Okay, so that's method number 2. Go ahead and try that for you guys. Go ahead and take a few minutes to see if you can use quick keys to find the heading, Baltimore or wherever you are, and the weather. Okay, so take a couple of times. And if you find the weather near you, I want you to put the weather in the box. So for example, what I would put in the box is sunny and 54 degrees. So put that in the chat box.
I wonder what the weather's going to be like where you are.
Yeah, it's super nice here. Thank goodness.
48 and cloudy, Lauren.
Oh, nice.
Susan is rainy and 55. Sanaya is sunny and 63.
Sweet. You guys are doing great.
Heck
Awesome.
Marie, 88 and sunny.
Wow. Oh, I would love to be there.
Liam, partly cloudy, 75. Jennifer, 54 and showers.
Nice job, guys. If you were able to find the weather, even if you didn't get a chance to put in the chat box, if you were able to find the weather, go ahead and give yourself a self 5. Yeah, really great job. Okay. So now we're going to ask ourselves our 3 questions, right? Because we talked about method number 1. We asked ourselves our 3 questions. Method number 2, right? Quick keys. Number 1. Number 1 is what type of element were we looking for? What type of element were we looking for?
Headings.
You got it. If you said headings, give yourself a self 5. Awesome. What did we know about the heading? Did we know the type of, what did we know about the element? Did we know the type of element? Did we know how close it was? What did we know about it? Did we know about it?
Lana said it was far.
It was far. Yeah, we had to go quite a ways down that list. Good thing we were able to skip a lot of it, right? And then number 3, what method would we use? We used method 2, which is quick keys. Now, I'm going to tell you, for method 2, what you want to use method 2 for is if you know the type of element you're looking for, if you know what you're looking for as a heading or a link or something like that, that's what you're going to use method 2 for. If it's close by, then you're probably going to use tab. If you know it's close by, you can use tab and shift tab, okay? Before we move on to method number 3, okay, I want to tell you guys a couple of things about method number 2. Remember when we were using tab and shift tab, method number 1, right? We use tab to go forward. We use shift tab to go back, right? We're holding down shift, then pressing tab. For quick keys, what do you think we would need to do if we were going to the next heading and we pressed H? What do you think we would need to do to go to the previous heading? Does anybody have any ideas? What would we do? Think about that tab and shift tab. What would we add to tab to go backwards? For headings, what do you think we would add to tab? I'm sorry, to H.
I see shift H, shift H.
You got it. Shift and H will bring you backwards. So I'll show you guys that right now.
Speech mode beeps, speech mode talk.
There you go. So I'm going to press
From
H.
Lauren Berger. Web results heading.
And then I'm going to press shift H.
Clickable 54 degrees Fahrenheit.
I can go backwards. Okay, so that's really important to know about H and shift H. Now, say you were going to do another quick keys. Say you were going to use trying to find a button, right? What would be the quick key that we would use for button?
From Susan Nostad to.
Oh, maybe I should turn off my speech.
Speech mode off.
There you go. What do you think the quick key should be if you were going to go to buttons? What do you think?
The letter B as in boy. B.
You got it. You got it. B as in boy. And then to go backwards, to go to the previous button, you would use shift and B. So you see there's a pattern here. Super easy, right? The last thing that I want to tell you about quick keys before we move on to number 3 is for links. Links are a little bit funky, okay? Links, there's 2 types of links. Does anybody know what the 2 types of links are? What do you think? And we're going to use this in the next method, so we want to make sure we know this. What are the 2 types of links? What do you guys think?
Visited and non-visited?
Ooh, that is so
unvisited?
Close. Unvisited. Yeah, visited and unvisited. Whoever said that, give yourself a self 5. Very nice job. Visited links and unvisited links, okay? And so the reason that we need to know that is because guess what? For JAWS and NVDA, links are not the letter L. like you would think. Just like it's not H for headings, B for buttons, but guess what? L is for lists. It's not links. What we need to do is if we want to find an unvisited link, as in a link we've never, ever, ever, ever been to, we're going to use the letter what? What do you guys think?
The letter U.
You got it. The letter U. Absolutely. And on that direction, if you have been to a link and it's a visited link, you're going to use the letter V. Okay. So that's really important to know. So that's quick keys in a nutshell. That's method number 2. For when you know the type of element and for when you're not sure where it is. If you don't know where on the page it is, you use quick keys. Okay. So now, whew, are there any other questions in the chat box, Miss Leanne?
Not at the moment. You're doing great.
Sweet. Awesome. So let's move on to method number 3. Okay. Does anybody have a guess as to what method number 3 is going to be? Does anybody have a guess? Just to see. If not, that's kind of a shot in the dark. But if not, we can keep going.
Not seeing any right now.
All right. So let's just keep going. If you do think that you know, go ahead and put it in the chat box and Miss Leanne will tell me if there's a pause. But method number 3, before I even introduce it, what we want to do is we want to get off of this page because what I really want to know is what the weather is going to be at 4 p.m. today. Okay, at 4 o'clock today. On this page, we can see it visually, but guess what? It's not accessible with NVDA, JAWS, or Chromebox. I've already checked. Wah, wah. So what we have to do is go up to the address bar and we're going to go to the weather channel, okay, to a website, okay? And so what we're going to do is go up to the address bar and type in weather.com, and that's the address for the weather channel. So I'm going to do that now.
Speech mode beeps.
And go ahead and follow along with me.
Address and search bar edit has auto complete. Google.com. Selection either her dot selection removed. Weather.com selected.
Okay, and I'm at the weather channel, weather.com. I'll let you guys get there as well.
Speech mode off.
So your few guesses were keyboard shortcuts, links list, and elements list.
Keyboard shortcuts, I would say that if you said keyboard shortcuts, absolutely, but I would say that that's more quick keys, okay? So we kind of already did the keyboard shortcuts, but yeah, links list and elements list. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. You're about to in like 2 seconds, but great job. If you guessed links list or elements list, give yourself a self 5. I love it. Okay, cool. So I am at the weather channel. I'm at weather.com. And I'm going to already tell you, I'm going to tell you 2 things. I'm going to tell you what element we are looking for, as in the name of the element we're looking for. And I'm going to tell you what type of element it is. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 things. The type of it, remember, I'm trying to look for the weather for Baltimore, Maryland at 4 p.m. today, right? And the link that I want to go to is called hourly. All right, so I've given you 2 pieces of information. I've given you number 1, what the name of the link is, it's hourly. And number 2, that it's a link, okay? Now, we're gonna use elements lists, okay? And this is really, really cool. What our options, I guess, would be, if we were gonna use method number 1 and method number 2, is we could tab through all of these clickable objects to find hourly. That's method number 1. We also could, since we know that it's a link, we also could use you, but guess what? There's lots of links on this page. And I've already given you the name, so elements list is going to be the way that we're going to go, okay? You ready for the key commands? If you are on JAWS, all right? The key command to get to links list is going to be the JAWS key. That means if you're on a laptop, it's caps lock, and if you're on a desktop, it's insert. The JAWS key and F7, all right, for links list. So hold down that JAWS key, press F7. On a lot of keyboards, you might need to use function too. So if it doesn't work for you, try to find that function key. It's down in the left corner. If you're using NVDA, it's NVDA key and F7 again, but NVDA key F7 brings you to all of the elements lists, okay? So if you're on Chromevox, is anybody on Chromevox? Let me know if you're on Chromevox, because I feel like I've been neglecting you.
Yes, there are people there.
Perfect. Okay, if you're on Chromevox, you're gonna hold down that shift key, The search key, which is where the caps lock key would be, that means it's in the left side, 3 up. You're going to hold down that shift search key and press the period key, and you're going to get to your elements list, okay? So I'm going to do that here on NVDA. Oops, I forgot to turn on speech.
Speech mode beeps. Speech mode, national
I'll do it again.
Elements list dialog, tree view. The weather company visited one of 67 level 0.
Beautiful. And that's what you should hear, something like that, okay? If you are on Chromebox and you've done that search period, what you want to do is arrow key over, right arrow key over until you hear links, all right? And then you'll be in the exact same spot we're in, okay? But if you're on JAWS, if you're on NVDA, if you're on Chromebox, and you're at the links list.
From Lauren A to every.
Oops, forgot to.
Speech mode off.
There we go. And you're on the links list, we are ready to go, okay? Now, the beautiful thing that's about links list if we know the name of the link, all we have to do is press the letter that it starts with, okay? So for example, remember the link that I was looking for is hourly, right? We're trying to find the hourly weather. What letter should I press? What do you guys think? What letter should I pick?
I see H. I see O.
Ooh, O is a good one. Hourly, there's that silent H in the beginning, but I see where you're going. I can tell that you're thinking, whoever put O, but yes, H. So I'm going to turn my speech back on. All I'm going to do is press H.
Speech mode beeps. Speak from Rabs. Hourly 5 of 67.
And then enter.
National and local weather radar, daily forecast.
Okay. So you see how much more efficient that is? I'm going to do that one more time just to show you how efficient this is. Ready? I'm going to go back, which is Alt left arrow if you needed to know. That's on all screen readers. Back is Alt left arrow. But if I was going to use links list, ready? Count how many key commands I do.
From Avishami.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I'm doing links list, I'm finding hourly. Ready? I do how many key commands? 1.
Elements list dial.
2 is H.
Hourly 3 of 50
and
level
3
0.
is enter.
National.
Okay. 3 key
Hourly.
commands, and I get exactly to where I need to go.
Hourly.
So that's why this is method number 3.
Speech mode off.
Okay. And then once you're there, guess what? You can use once we're here, which method, right? Which method do you think we should use to find the weather? Remember, there's all of these clickable objects on the top. There's all these links on the top, right? Which method do you guys think we should use? Method 1, tab and shift tab, where things are close by. Method 2, quick keys, or method 3, elements list. What do you guys think?
Megan says 3. Cole says 2. Brenda says tab.
Okay, cool. So we got it kind of all over the place. I would say, and I'm going to give you guys this piece of information, there is a big, huge title at the top of our webpage. Big, huge title, which is, in computer speak, that's a heading, right? If there's a big, huge title or a big, huge heading at the top of our webpage, which there is on most web pages, I would say that we want to use method number 2, because all we have to do is press H and we get to the title.
Speech mode beeps. Speech mode talk. Clickable main landmark Dundalk MD hourly weather heading level 1.
That's my title, Dundalk, Maryland, which is kind of close to where I am, I guess. And that's my title. And now I can use the down arrow key.
2:32 p.m. Time. Description. Temp. Feel. Precip. Humidity. Wind. 2:45 p.m. Wet. Sunny. 54 degrees.
Okay, so that's at 2:45. I can continue going down that. It's a table. It looks like a table. It's not really a table. But you can keep going down that list of commands and find what the weather is going to be at 4 p.m. Okay, if you are where I am and you're following along, go ahead and put in the chat box what is the weather at 4 p.m. where you are. And while you do that, I'm going to find out what the weather is where I'm going to be at 4 p.m.
54, 50, 0, 4, wet, 4 p.m., W8, 4 p.m., wet, sunny, 56 degrees.
Oh, there we are. So at 4 p.m., it's going to be sunny and 56 degrees in Baltimore.
Speech mode off.
Okay?
Speech mode beeps. Speech mode off.
There we go. If you are where I am and you're following along, feel free to find out what is the weather going to be like near you at 4 p.m.
Clara will be 66 and cloudy.
Sweet.
Becca is 50. Susan, still raining. Brenda is cloudy and 80. Becca said sunny.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, nice job, guys. If you found that information on your own using method number 2 or whatever method, right? Because you could use headings list and everything else. If you found that on your own, all right, give yourself a self 5. Very nice job. Okay. Now, we have a little bit more time, so we can do another activity. But before we switch activities, now that you guys know about methods number 1, 2, and 3, okay, I want to give you guys a really quick scenario to think about when you have method number 3. So think about method number 3, right? Let's say that you are in a high school or a college class, right? And your class is looking at a new learning management system like Schoology or Canvas or something like that, that your school is using, all right? Now you have your computer open and your computer is at your teacher is at the front of the room, and they're telling you, okay, first you're going to go to the school district's website. Then you're going to click on the link at the top of the web page saying log in, right? Think about how useful method number 3, elements list, would be if the teacher is telling you, oh, you're going to go to the login link. All you have to do is do elements list, right? L, right? And then you can get to log in. All right. So really think about method number 3 is really, 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 really useful. If there's a sighted person at the front and they're giving you all the information step by step, that's what you use method 3 for. If you're just browsing the internet, you use method 2. You use those quick keys. Okay. So that's really important to know. Now, given that, I'm going to take this to the next level, and I'm going to pretend to be that sighted person. Okay. So for example, I'm going to tell you, all right, so we're going to go to this website. Step number 2 is going to be, you're going to go to this link at the top. And I want you guys to practice using that method number 3, right? That JAWS key or NVDA key and F7 or search and period to figure out, to try to keep up with me, to try to go step by step with me. Are you guys ready? If you're ready, go ahead and put in the chat box, I'm ready. If this sounds all too intimidating to you, if you're like, oh my gosh, this sounds too stressful, that's all right. Just watch everybody try to keep up with me, and that would be really fun too.
I see ready starting to show up. Let's try it.
Awesome. Let's do it. So what we want to do is we want to go to the search bar, the address bar, and I want you to go to, let me think about, like, let's go to, there's a university up near me in Towson, Maryland. It's called Towson University. We're going to go to that university's website. It's called towson.edu. Ready? I'm going to spell it for you guys. Towson, towson.edu. And I'm going to do that on my end too.
Speech mode beeps. Speech mode talk. Address and search. And .edu. Do select Towson.edu. From Tana Bielinski to everyone.
All right, and now I'm at towson.edu. I'm on Towson University's website. All right. Now, what I want you to do, step number 2, is that I want to find the link library. If you're a college student, if you're going to Towson University, you're going to be using the library link a lot, right? You're going to be going to the library link and researching stuff. Okay, so what I want you to do is find the library link. Remember, I'm telling you the name and I'm telling you the type of element. So we're using method number 3. Use those elements lists. Ready? I'm going to do it on my end.
From Becca Web. Elements list dialog.
All right. So I have my elements list up.
From
and
Savannah.
I know it's library. So it's L. All right.
Library 9 of 95 levels.
Enter. Again, there's only 4 key commands and I'm there. I'm on step number 2. Miss Leanne, we have any questions in the chat box? I heard some.
Speech mode off.
There was someone that said a tip is press the letter you want to find.
Yes, absolutely. Press the letter you want to find. So in this example, I'm trying to find library. You would open that elements list. You'd press L for library. That's how you make method 3 super, super efficient. Okay. Awesome.
What was that command to get that elements list again?
Sure. It's if you're using NVDA, it's NVDA key, which is caps lock or insert, depending on what your computer configuration is. NVDA key plus F7. If you're using JAWS, it's the same thing. Links list is NVDA key plus F7. And if you're using Chromevox, it's search key plus period, and you're going to arrow over to links. Okay?
Thanks.
You're welcome. And then same thing, the name of the element, that's the first letter that you're gonna hit. Awesome. So we're on the library website. All right. If you're there, give yourself a self 5. Very nice job. And now let me find a link that we want to find. There's a link on here saying we're here for you online. We're going to try to find that link. We're here for you online. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my speed back on.
Just for 1 second. You had said there was an alternate key. Lana is asking, my insert F7 doesn't work. Is there another way? Can you repeat what that other way was?
Absolutely. So on some keyboards, there's a little function key down between the control and the Windows key, and you have to add in that function key as well. And that's just because some computers, keyboards are just a little bit different. So it's going to be NVDA key, Lana, if that's you, NVDA key, function, F7. Try that, okay, and see if it works. Cool? All right. So I'm going to try to find the link. We're here for you online. So I'm going to do the same thing. Method number 3, caps lock. If you need function, then you use function. And F7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that wasn't it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I need function. There we go. And I don't have my speech on.
Speech mode beeps. Speech mode talk. Albert S. Cook.
Ready? 1, 2,
From
3,
Charlotte
4, 5,
Cushman
6,
to
7.
Address and search bar edit has libraries.
Let's try that again.
From Paul for tab control. Address and search bar. Meeting. Albert. Caps. List.
Sorry, guys. I'm just troubleshooting my own computer. 4, 5, 6, 7.
Address and search bar.
Oh my
edit.
goodness. What is going on?
Reload button. Reload this page. Albert S. Cook.
There we go.
Address and.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's reload.
Selection. Albert S. Cook Library. List. You get help. Visit.
There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Address and selection. Bookmarks.
I don't know what's going on with my computer. Sorry, guys.
Click
but if you would use caps lock F7 if you're JAWS or NVDA, search and period.
Speech mode off.
And you would try to find, use W to get to we're here for you online and press enter. Okay?
And Cody, you're not the only one that every once in a while experience some voice command issues when inside Zoom. I have seen, we've seen a few of that. So there seems every once in a while to be a hiccup.
Okay, gotcha.
Cody, this is Charlotte. I've been compiling a list of questions. So if you're having some computer problems, I'm ready to hit you with some of those, or if you want to do more in the lesson, keep going.
No, I think we've reached a point where we can start to answer some questions, especially time-wise. Yeah, let's hear them, Charlotte.
Okay. When choosing a new text-to-speech program, what program is the easiest to use?
That is a great question. I would say that they are all, I would say that JAWS, NVDA, and Chromevox are the 3 that you should choose if you're starting out. But between all of those, it doesn't really matter, because guess what? They all have the 3 methods of internet navigation. They all kind of work the exact same way. As long as you get used to the key commands, you're probably fine with any one of those. Okay.
Hey, Cody, can you hit the stop share screen?
I absolutely can. Let me turn off
Thank you.
NVDA. There we go. Oh yeah, now we can all see each other. That's better.
The next question is, what other websites do you suggest to practice the 3 methods?
That's a great question. I would say that any website that has a lot of text would be a good website. So what I was trying to do, what my original plan was to go to like a news site, but a lot of these news sites, they have like lots of ads and stuff like that. If you find a really great website where it's like a title, a bunch of text, maybe some images and an ad and a bar at the top, that's a great website to start out practicing. Okay. But really the nice thing about the 3 methods is that they work, all 3 methods work on almost every website, as long as they're a regular website. Okay. So really it doesn't really matter as much. You just have to be a little bit more tolerant when you're on these websites that have a bunch of stuff going on. Okay.
Great. We have a bunch of hands raised, but I want to ask you a few more that had been in the chat.
Sure.
We have a couple of questions about NVDA and compatibility.
Okay.
So is it compatible with both Windows and Mac, and is it compatible with Chromebook?
So no, NVDA is only PC. It's only Windows. If you're on a Mac, you can only use VoiceOver. And VoiceOver, again, it has the 3 methods, but it's just a little bit different. So it's hard to put in one webinar. So you have to use VoiceOver. And then Chromebooks, you have to use Chromevox. But the nice thing about Chromevox is it works the same way as NVDA. It also includes the 3 methods, and it also works about the same way. Okay.
Great. And the last question from the chat is, do you know if the Mac VoiceOver has an element link list?
It does. It does have an elements and links list. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, which
but it does exist.
It does exist. Really, and they call it just a little. Every screen reader has the same 3 methods, but they call it, the vocab on them is a little bit different. So, like for example, JAWS calls it HTML elements list, and NVDA calls it elements list. Max calls it something else, but it does exist, and you can bring it up by heading or by link or by whatever type of element you want. But yes.
Thanks, that's helpful. Maybe we can go to the raised hands now, Leanne. Yeah. We've got Helena, who's first in line. Helena, go ahead. You can press your space bar to talk.
Okay, we'll try Uriah.
Hello?
Hi. What's up?
So, my question is, what method for whatever website would be good for a beginner?
What would a website be that's for a beginner? I would say that a good website to start on is a website. Let me see. Why don't I, this would be a good thing to do. Why don't I give Charlotte and Leanne some good websites to start on, and we can put them either in the chat or afterwards we can put them on the Path's website. Does that work, guys?
I can send them out with their certificate without any problem.
That would be something. I can get those websites to you, and then Uriah, you can start on using these 3 methods with an easy website. Okay.
Aisha, do you have a question?
Yes. So since I use JAWS screenreader on my laptop, do you think for going to the that same for going to that same weather channel, you're going to earlier, do you think Alt then Tab to hourly, do you think that's gonna work?
To use Alt Tab?
No, Alt then Tab to hourly.
Oh, that's a great thought. I see where you're going. So Alt to go to the menu and then Tab to move over. The problem, I love that line of thinking. That's awesome. I see exactly where you're going. The only problem with that is that on some browsers, if you use Alt, you're going to go to the browser settings. It's just going to shoot you over to the browser settings. But it would work. It would work. You could get there that way.
Okay. Miss Sanaya.
Good line of thinking.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, yes, I had one question. My vision teacher told me before, but how do you download JAWS from the computer or laptop?
Sure, we can put that link on the Path's website, I'm sure, but it's if you go to Freedom Scientific, if you Google Freedom Scientific, there's actually right now on their homepage, you can download it right from their homepage for free.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Keen.
How are you?
Hi, how's it going?
I'm grand, thanks, Cody. I just have a question. Have you ever used what you call JAWS as well? If so, what do you find better, NVDA or JAWS?
That's a really complicated question. Yes, I actually teach JAWS more often, I guess, than I teach NVDA. I wouldn't know. I don't know if I would say that one is better than the other, but I tell my students that they should probably know how to use both, and I'll tell you why. Number one, NVDA is free, and that means you can put it on any computer you want. That's really helpful. Number two, JAWS is going to be, if you're going to go to some place like Doors or the Department of Rehab Services or whatever your agency is in your state, they're going to put JAWS on your computer because all government agencies put JAWS on the computer. I would say as far as how does one navigate the internet better than the other, it really depends on what you're trying to navigate. So it's really important to have both. That's kind of the quick and dirty answer.
Okay, Donna. You can hold the space bar down to speak, Donna. Okay, let's try Andrew. Andrew, you had your hand raised. You got to hold the space bar to try to talk.
Hello.
There you go.
Okay. So to answer the question somebody asked about the Mac.
Yes.
So I'll just answer it. If you press Control Option U, that'll bring you to the rotor, and then you can use left or right arrow to pick either links, headings, whichever you want. You can then go up and down or use first letter navigation from there.
Perfect.
So that's how
there you go.
Elements, headings, all that stuff. That's how you're able to get there.
Sweet. Thanks, Andrew.
That was great.
Yeah.
Okay. Liam. Go ahead and speak, Liam. We can hear you. Oh, maybe there's no question. Okay, so Medea or Madia? It's either Medea or Madia.
Hello.
There you go.
Hi. So I have a 8-year-old. I'm just trying to figure out, she's going to start JAWS at school, but are there any other resources other than school that we can get exposed to these softwares just so she could utilize them early on?
Yeah. There's not, I mean, I'll let you guys at APH and Pat's probably have some as well. Currently, you can go to my personal website, my company's website, itvision.com, EYETVISION.com. Right now we have an email challenge set up. So you get emails for 5 days where you can get information on kind of where to start with a younger learner. But yeah, I'll let, I know that maybe APH and Pats, do you guys have any additional resources that you guys have?
Yeah, go ahead, Charlotte.
I was going to say there are quite a few things on Paths to Literacy. So if you just search JAWS, you'll come up with some ideas. There also are some beginning screen reader lessons. So if you're just looking for where to get started, there's some suggestions of websites to look at.
Mm-hmm. Sounds great. Thank you.
And we've got one more question from Helena.
Sure.
Helena, try
yes.
pressing. There you go.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Cody, I got a question for you.
Sure.
My name is Lena. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
And I looked up the weather, and it said 60 degrees right now, 4 p.m.
Cool.
And can you install JAWS on the iPad?
Can you install JAWS on the what?
iPad.
On the iPad.
No. So if you have an iPad, you're going to be using iOS or VoiceOver. Okay. So JAWS is only for the PC, but that's a great question.
And we are running out of time. We've got 1 minute left. So I'm going to say thank you to Cody. And Cheryl, will you let us know what's coming next?
Of course, Cody, thank you so much. I'm sure this is a video that is going to be replayed a lot because you had so much information in it. It was fantastic. Tomorrow we have an abacus lesson. It's Intro to Abacus with Amy Mason. So join us tomorrow. Have your abacus in hand, and we hope to see you then. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.